Hi friends, I'm Katie and welcome back to Phoenix Jewelry for another wire wrapping tutorial. In today's video, we're going to be tackling this, what I think is maybe a beginner friendly to intermediate, more intermediate. But if you're a beginner to wire wrapping and you're looking for a challenge, this is a pretty good project to kind of up your skills a little bit and tackle something that is not too challenging, but will definitely give you some opportunities for new techniques. So here I'm using about 6 to 7 inches of 14 gauge half round wire, and I'm just using my bail making pliers to get a circular shape close enough to the bead that I'm going to be using. And since I'm going for a circle, like a complete circle, I'm going to go ahead and crisscross the two wires and bring it all the way around the bead. I'm just going to open it up a little bit here just so I have enough room to weave. And then I'm taking my pliers here just to turn those ends up so I have a place to make the bail. To get a more flat and angular shape without using a square wire, I'm gonna be hammering the round part where the bead is gonna sit, but also a little bit up towards the bail. To secure the bead that I'm going to be using at the center of the pendant, I'm using my 28 gauge wire just to string the bead and attach it on each side of the center of the circle here. Working with a small pendant, especially when it's using a bead, can be a little bit tricky. So I'm just using my fingers to hold the bead as well as the copper frame while I tuck the 28 gauge in between the bead and the side of the circle and just pulling it through. And I'm going to do this probably about 5 or 6 times just to get it nice and secure. And I'm using my pliers as well. I shouldn't be doing this, but I think because I know I know what kind of force I'm using. I know I'm not gonna break the wire. So I would be gentle when using pliers, especially on a smaller gauge kind of wire. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and clip the ends, the extra pieces, and tuck those wires away so we don't have any pokey points or scratching from those wires. So it's time to move on to the bail, and this bail is fairly simple, nothing too exciting. I'm using the same 28 gauge wire that I used to string the bead to wrap around the two base wires here so I can pull them together and secure them to create the bail. I'm going to be wrapping probably about 10 times, no more than that maybe. And at the end where that tail is hanging off closer towards the bead, I'm going to be wrapping that around one of those base wires maybe a couple of times just to secure that end, and I'm going to just push it down so it sits nice and even against the other wraps. Using my bail making pliers again, I'm gonna be curving those two base wires right where the weave is. I'm sitting right on top of the weave, and I'm just gonna curve those base wires back. And then using my pliers, I'm just gonna squish that in, for lack of a better term. And then I'm just gonna cut right where those two base wires are meeting the bottom part of the weave we just made on the bail. Then I'm going to use my pliers again to squish those two wires down. And there we have it, our super adorable Carnelian tiny pendant that took no time to make. And I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.